speaker. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Okay, Mr. Chair, motion carries. Next council member on the list is Councilmember Clutterbuck.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for appearing before us and for expressing your thoughts on this and your practical experience with it too, Mr. Sanchez. I really appreciate it. It's important for us to hear from people in the field. And certainly, unfortunately, this issue, my amendment, has certainly invoked a lot of discussion and debate and consternation about what it does and what it does not do, and what it is intended to do and what it is not intended to do. And I would, I welcome the opportunity to express my intent in this. It has been my personal experience in watching how this is applied, and the fact that just a simple form is filled out and that there is no proficiency requirement, no proficiency confirmation, and no confirmation, frankly, that there is work with the public. And my concern is that not at all that we should do away with speaking and communicating with our amazingly multicultural society. It's part of the beauty of living in Houston, frankly. And I know that personally and profoundly. I represent an area that I think probably has the most languages spoken in any schools in entire HISD. Fondren Middle School and Lee High School, I hear, have 41 native languages spoken in them. Staggering. Native languages and dialects, and I'm not sure if pressed I could even name 41, and it's part of the beauty of Houston. And nothing in my amendment or in the intent of the amendment is to encourage that policy stop, that the policy of communicating and of staffing our offices with people who can communicate with the public in all of its languages. Nothing in my amendment is intended to stop that. It is instead intended to address the concern that I have and that businesses in the private sector have grappled with, management companies in advising municipalities have grappled with, and that is the policy of giving a $1 stipend to a person because of their language ability. In my opinion, and what I was hoping to inspire in this, is instead a discussion about having the language requirement as part of the job requirement, as part of a job skill among many job skills, and having the dollar evaluation of that go along with the job position instead of with the individual. That is a critical difference, and it is my sincere hope that we will not be intellectually dishonest in this, that there will not be I know it's difficult around a political table to encourage people not to hijack an issue for political gain. But there seems to be this hesitation in our society to talk about things because we get fearful of what the reaction will be. There is almost a collective preemptive cringe should anybody bring up the issue of bilingual anything. And instead, it is my sincere hope and my belief when offering this that we are a body mature enough to have that sane, common sense discussion about where to go with this in the future. It's my understanding, and I stand to be corrected, but it's my understanding that the Harris County Hospital District recently eliminated bilingual pay for new incoming employees, and is going to what I am suggesting, that it be a part of the job description, that we encourage a multilingual workforce, and it's something that we don't need to incentivize. My last thought on this is, and Mayor, I thank you for your indulgence, but my last observation on this is that when you have it linked to the individual as a entitlement, as a stipend, as a bonus, then that individual, when asked, can say, like I have heard some of our public employees say, well, if you take that away from me, then I won't communicate with the public in another language. And that is not the kind of spirit and attitude that we want in the city of Houston. If we make it part of the job requirement, then we will have a delivery of services in a more efficient and effective way, and somebody cannot no longer say, I'm sorry, that's not my job. Thank you, Mayor.
Make a motion to extend. Moved and seconded. All in favor or opposed? Motion carries. I will remind council members that we'll get to do this again tomorrow. Councilmember Wong.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez, and especially the Hope Clinic coming down here. First of all, I was the one who proposed a 3% cut for reduction, but on the City Council office rather than the department. So just want to make sure and clarify that we're on the same page, that I support the expedition of paying you the 3% extras because you are waiting for it. It doesn't mean that the cut here on the City Council is going to be effective on you. We are here, we want to be the role models. We have to cut ourselves first before asking to have any reduction on you. So just want to make sure and clear that you understand my amendment. The second thing is this: I also support the bilingual paid only on the conditions that the following conditions, that the person has to be proficiency on that language. If you speak the language but you're not that well, then the service is not that well. It's not the quality of the service is going to be jeopardized. The second thing is that the person who speaks the language has to have public proactive, rather than just because you speak the language, then automatically you have to pay for bilingual. It has to have something to do with the job. If it is not going to do with the job, suppose if a person is going to be only a secretary typing things on the computer, and because you speak Mandarin in English, then you are going to pay for English, and then a bilingual paid, I think is not right. But if the person is going to answer telephone calls, questions from the public, that is the constituent services, then I believe that person should be paid. So bilingual paid is good because it's going to promote the diversity of our city, but it has to be right. So I support that. Only it is proficiency and public impact. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Jones.
I see a slippery slope coming here, Mayor. Ahmad just came to me based on what I said when I talked about the man I met from the United Arab Emirates. And he said, hey, if he can't speak English, I speak that language, so if he calls your office, you can come to me. So if Ahmad comes and helps me or whatever, because he doesn't have direct contact with the public, does that mean he shouldn't get paid bilingual pay? I would respectfully submit to you that he should, because you don't have to have direct contact.
Councilmember, are you asking me what the current policy is? Current policy is it is not to be used in the regular course of his or her duties, he should not receive bilingual pay.
Well, if someone comes and I need help with someone who speaks another language, I mean, but I'm not finished yet, Mayor. Then it should go along with the job description, not with the individual. Dude, we're paying for a skill. I go and I get a graduate degree. I expect to make X number of dollars. I expect to make more than someone with just a college degree. I expect to make more than someone with just a high school degree. Why isn't a language treated like that? I mean, I don't understand that. That's a skill. That is a skill. And so when we start deciding what skills are worth being incentivized and which ones aren't, is problematic, because the people that are going to get stepped on are the people with the skills that the really rich people don't have. And I think that a society is judged by the lowest standard. By the lowest standard. And I also say that what's good for classifieds is good for non-classifieds. So why can a classified get it and a non-classified doesn't? People have problems, and it just really scares me, this discussion that I'm hearing. And I just think it is offensive, and I'm really sad to the extent my staffers deserve the hope increase, because when that city service is supposed to be provided and it's not provided, and that constituent calls my office because they want their city services provided, my staffer is just as important as hope people. We all provide a valuable function. We are interrelated. We are as strong as our weakest link. And I think that we really need to be mindful. And quite frankly, if you know what, I'll just stop, because I could go on forever on this one. I'm voting no.
I would ask that everyone respect the rules of the chamber, which is that no public demonstrations from the audience. Thank you. Councilmember Bradford.
Mayor, I'd just like to issue a plea that we save the debate and advocacy for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I mean, there are public here waiting to comment, and I have a lot to say on these issues, but the debate is tomorrow morning. Thank you.
There is no one else on the list. We will move to the next speaker. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.